Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to lesson 2, and our topic is dissection of the amphibian, and we're looking at majorly the frog and the toad. So in this lesson we are going to expound more about the external anatomy of the frog or the toad. When you talk about external anatomy, majorly we are discussing about the features that you can see from outside the body or out surface of the body of an organism without necessarily cutting it, yeah, or before you can cut it. So we are going to look at these different structures, and we are going to begin with the head. So when you look at the head region, what do you see exactly? So that's what we want to start with. So when you look at the head in general, you realize that it is triangular, the apex anterior and the base posterior, and joined to the trunk directly, meaning this organism actually does not have any clear neck. So there is no neck in the amphibian, in the toads and the frogs. However, other amphibians may have necks, like the salamanders, but the frogs and the toads, the members of order Anura, do not have clear necks. When you look at the head, you realize that it's largely dorsoventrally flattened and tapering anteriorly, meaning the upper side and the lower side are squeezed together and flatter, and it is pointed to the front. That's what we call tapering anteriorly. So this structure of tapering anteriorly gives the toad or the frog a streamlined shape that reduces resistance in motion, during motion in water. So when it is swimming in water, you realize that being sharp or pointed in front reduces the friction, enables it to penetrate through the water much more easily. So when you look at that 3D or three-dimensional picture of the frog, you can see clearly the features on the head. You can see the tympanic membrane or the tympanium. You can see the nictitating membrane, that one below the eyelid or the lower eyelid. It is usually translucent or transparent and can cover the eyes when the animal is in water. And then you can see the external nares there, or nostrils. So in the 2D you can see something closer to that, or you can even draw something much better than that. So you can see the eyes, the nostril, the mouth, and of course we say the mouth has a wide gap. If it opens, it's very wide. And then you have the ear, or the tympanic membrane there. So those are majorly the structures we are going to dwell on in these features on the head for this particular when we are discussing features on the head. So let's start with the nostrils. These are a pair of small rounded openings anteriorly located on the head above the mouth. So that is the best description for the nostrils. If you say a pair, it means there are two small round openings and then anteriorly located on the head above the mouth. So that is how you describe their location. And then this position of course allows gaseous exchange when the rest of the body is submerged in water. The location of the nostrils enables the organism to carry out gaseous exchange even when the rest of the body is submerged in water. The location also allows to detect smell of food, enemies in the environment, and other stimuli. Of course, you know that the major functions of the nostril is for gaseous exchange, but also for detecting the sense of smell. So the location of the nostril is the best position for carrying out those two major activities of the nostrils. So let's look at this YouTube video. We should be able to open it, and then we'll be able to watch to see how the organism, well, our YouTube video has failed to open. I will show you in the next lesson how the nostrils look like, but we shall see also in the pictures as well. Meanwhile, let's go to the eyes of the amphibians. So when you're describing the eyes, when you look at the eyes clearly, you realize that the eyes are large. Yes, they are round, they are protruding, and they lined dorsally, or lined on top of the head dorsally, but they are facing, meaning they are located on the sides. So the eyes of the toad or the frog are large. When you look at them, you realize they are large. They are also round, they are protruding, meaning they are bulging outside, and then they are lined dorsally on top, but on the sides laterally. So is that advantageous? Yes, yes, because it gives the animal a wide field of view. So when you continue to observe the eyes clearly, you realize that they are covered with a translucent fold of skin, the nictitating membrane. And this major function is to clean and moisten the eyes, but also it protects the eyes. So the nictitating membrane cleans, moistens the eyes, and also protects the eyes. And it is transparent or translucent. So that means even when the eye is covered by the nictitating membrane, it can still see the environment. Yeah, so when you look at the eyes clearly, you can see from there. Are you able to see that the eyes are actually large, and they are round, and they are located on top dorsally, and they are on the sides laterally? Well, you can also look at them clearly and describe on your own, but largely that is the picture of how the eyes look like. So when you compare the eyes of the frog and the toad, you realize that there are some slight differences, and I want you to look at them clearly and suggest some of the differences from there. The one on the left is the frog, and the one on the right is the toad. So what are you able to see? Yes, what are you able to see on the two? You can see that the eyes of the frog are more bulging than those of the toad. Yes, a little bit more bulging than those of the toad. So let's move to the eardrum, or the tympanic membrane, and sometimes it is called the tympanium. This is a round structure somewhere behind the eyes, used for detecting this, used for collecting sound waves or detecting pressure in the water, sound waves. The eardrum is a tough, prominent, circular patch of tough membrane. So it is a very tough, round, and prominent. Prominent meaning it is easily seen. The tough nature allows it to resist pressure exerted by the water and other obstacles without rupture. So you realize that when the frog or the toad is in water, there are sometimes waves that blow, yeah, water waves. So if the eardrum was weak, it would easily get damaged. But because of its tough nature, it's able to withstand those water waves. And then they are located dorsolaterally behind the eyes. So when you look at them, where they are located on top near the upper part of the back of the head, but also on the sides. That's what we call dorsolaterally located, and they are right behind the eyes. Is that advantageous? Yes. This location and structure suits the reception of sound vibrations, making the animal aware of the nearest environment. So what is important for us to note is that the location of any feature in the body is suited. It is the best way in which it can be placed to receive or to respond to the environment. So the location of these eardrums is the very best location for reception of what? Sound waves. And of course the same applies to other structures as well. So you can see the eardrum there, or the tympanic membrane, much more clearly here. You can see where it is located. Dorsolaterally located behind the eyes. And what is the shape? It's round. And when you feel it, you realize it is tough. So let's move to the mouth. And we said that, what did we say about the mouth? Well, we are going to look at the mouth. So you see that the mouth is anteriorly located on the head. Anteriorly located on the head. And has a wide gap to ingest a large prey. It has a very wide gap relative to the body size. And this is, of course, an adaptation to it, a larger prey. So you can see there the wide gap of the mouth, the wide gap there, and that one can swallow a very big grasshopper or housefly. Yeah, so you can see, continue to see there some features of the head, especially when the mouth is opened. You can even see some other features there. It is revealing much more other features. So let's look at the tongue. After opening the mouth, you can see the tongue, and what is that the tongue is actually a long, muscular, flat, elastic or stretchable, forked, bilobed, and it's bilobed, of course, at the front. Yes, and it is sticky or slimy and has many small blood vessels. It's also attached to the floor of the buccal cavity in front or at the front. So that is the location of the tongue and the structure. So when you're describing, you talk about whatever it looks like. So you realize that the tongue is actually long, it is muscular, it is flat, it is elastic, it is bilobed or forked, and at the front or anteriorly, it is sticky when you touch it, and has many small blood vessels. You may not be able to see that easily, but when you observe critically, you can see some veins especially. And then it's attached to the floor of the front of the lower buccal cavity. Well, so we want to see the adaptations or the advantages of each of the structures we have mentioned about the tongue. To begin with, it's long enough and elastic to trap the insects or the prey at a relatively long distance. So if the tongue was not long, it would not be able to trap insects at a long distance. It is sticky to firmly grip onto the prey or the insects. So to firmly grip on them. And then it is muscular to stretch out long to trap the insects. It's flattened to increase the surface area for trapping the prey, and has numerous glands that secrete sticky mucus to trap the prey. It has a wide base for firm attachment, and then it's attached to the anterior end of the lower buccal cavity to easily flick out and trap insects or prey at a relatively longer distance. So when you say that the tongue is forked, or by exactly that's what we mean. So you can see there the tongue is forked or bilobed anteriorly at the front and is located at the base of the lower buccal cavity. Yes. So we want to see there how the frog captures the prey using the tongue. The tongue flicks out very fast and captures the prey, and it is sticky so the prey cannot escape from the toad. So we can proceed, and the YouTube video is disturbing us, but thank you so much for listening or following this lesson. I want to meet you in the third lesson. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more educative videos like this one.